During the 3-day period between late March and early April 2023, 2 teenage girls and a boy will go missing and eventually be found dead in similar situations and circumstances. The people of Florida started to speculate in the local area that there was fears of a serial killer go around murdering similar victim profiles. Despite being similar to methods used in the killings, the worst fears came true. This would prompt a massive response and operation for the missing person report, where sadly, the police would discover the victim's body a few days later. Not 1, not 2, but 3 victims were killed over a 3-day span in Central Florida. Robert Robinson, 17, 12-year-old Christopher Atkins, and Tahj Brewton, 17, were among those who killed the girls and the boys, but shot them with a gun or handgun during the night, says media reports. The shocking twist of events occurred within one location. Unfortunately, there was DNA left at the crime scene, which led Florida police to investigate the cases and determined whether they were done by one person or not. It was at this point that a massive breakthrough came through, and it led to the arrest of 3 boys whose names, as previously mentioned, and the perpetrators were identified by police as well. As always, welcome to Psycho Minds. My name is Cody, and it's Exhibit, an exclusive true crime documentary. We will explore and discuss about the horrific, tragic, and devastating lineup of events that led up to the murders. It occurred during May and April of this year, during the spring. Stick with us as we uncover what exactly happened in 3 days and what outcome it will have on the community for a long, prolonged duration in the future as well. The families of the victims will be devastated by the circumstances that led up to the disappearance and subsequent deaths of the girls. Not only that, the fact that knowing their daughter won't come home again is both tragic and saddening. This takes place on 30th of March 2023 at 10:52 p.m. 16-year-old schoolgirl Layla Silverleo was found dying from gunshot wound. Her body was dumped inside a dumpster opposite Woodland area. This would shock the community when the news broke out about the murder, but this wasn't just an isolated incident, it was at the work of a group who is believed to be a part of a gang and armed robbery, believe it or not. They also left a lot of evidence behind in their wake of the killing spree, which was handy because it means they could be captured quicker and have better control over what would happen next. But a girl who was catching the bus to school with her brother said she made the gruesome discovery and said it was a man who wore black clothing and a black mask on his face, except it didn't cover his eyes though. A third victim, 16-year-old Camilo Crudless, was found inside Silverleo's car, which was partially submerged in a pond. This is where the killer's true colours came out of the spotlight. There was now news coverage of the murders, but was this an act of revenge or attempt to silence the victims from telling the stories to their families? The cruel fashion and reality is not too far-fetched from the truth when the autopsies was conducted on. It was reviewed that the 3 victims was killed by gunshot wounds and no evidence of sexual assault was ever founded on them. The boys was eventually caught and was brought to justice, where the youths were charged as adults, and the triple murders shocked the nation as its population was in fear. The victims were all killed on the same day, and their bodies was later discovered on March 13th, March 31st, and April 1st. The defendants and the 3 victims were burglarizing cars, a practice known as car hopping. In such cases, thieves work area looking for unlocked vehicles. Marion County Sheriff Billy Woods announced in a press conference or statement, "They took a life without thought. They deserve the full extent of the law," he said. Prior to their arrests and warrants, neither of the suspects' background was known, or whether or not they had any criminal record against them, according to court documents. At the time of press, it's believed the motive behind the killings was robbery, apparently, given that the arrest for the 3 suspects was raised to $10,000, or in English currency, £7,879 at the time recording this video. It has been debunked that the suspects was minors at the time, and some news outlets didn't report the names because of anomalous information that not even amateur journalists could get their hands on it. Hopefully, after the lengthy trial, they should be all found guilty and sentenced with the death penalty without parole. That's how it should be. No matter how old you are, you should be tried as an adult instead of a minor or a child/teenager. Thank you for watching Psycho Minds. That was the case of the America's newest mass murderers. And why not click one of our videos to see what we post about.